Hey everybody, it's April Holly Smith and I'm gonna do my 15-minute update today. This is what I look like and this is what you're gonna get because this is me. Alright, it's been a lot since the last time I did an update. Somebody asked me about my diet. I am back doing deeper state keto and I think I'm like almost 30 days into it. I think I'm almost done with the phase 1, which is figuring out your macros for your protein threshold and some stuff. I think I'm there, but I just had my period, which always makes my weight do this, even when I'm on deeper state keto. So I think by the end of this week, I will know if I'm ready to go to phase 2, where we start paring down the calories and the macros, which is fine as of this moment because I still have water weight from my period. I started out at 170. I'm between like 166 and 170 or 167 right now. I do hope to lose another 1 or 2 pounds in water weight just from the hormone cycle, you know, like regular life. That's cool. But I will say that in this time, I am solidly in a 12 right now, which I do not believe that I was at the beginning of the program, which means I'm having body recomposition. So in deeper state keto terms, that means that my body is shrinking even though my weight is not necessarily shrinking. So that's a good thing, and it's something that I have to keep telling my head that, like, just because the scale isn't changing a ton doesn't mean progress is not happening. So, for example, Keto Connect developed deeper state keto with Keto Savage, and they did a 90-day program and they documented all of it, like what they were eating, their weight, their before, their after, all that stuff. And Mega, who is not, she wasn't like a large person to begin with. She's kind of a smaller female. Well, she lost 8 pounds the entire 90 days, but her before and after pictures, like, you can really tell, like, she is much different looking from the beginning to the end. So I'm just going to take heart that maybe I might not lose a ton of weight on the scale, but I am having body recomposition. Like, my arms even from the last time are getting smaller here. The top of my knee right here is something that's being reshaped, and I do feel like my waist is smaller, and overall my thighs are smaller because I can get into a size 12 where I could not do that before. So spoiler alert, I did go to JCPenney and buy some stuff, and you will get to see that. Good morning, Ash Cash Budget, yay! That is coming up, and so you'll actually get to see me wearing some of these size 12 clothes. So that's something that you can look forward to. Yeah, so let's just get to it. Somebody in the house had a car accident. Wasn't me. Chris got into a car accident with Carley, and looking at Carley, it doesn't look that bad, but it's that bad. Good morning, Cindy. So he was driving to work in a construction zone. Traffic came to a stop, and he did not. He got into an accident. Chris is okay. Ash Cash Budget asks, or says, I hope Chris is okay. It was so low speed of an accident. The airbag did not deploy. The ABS didn't kick on. Like, it was a minor accident is like how I would characterize it. Came up with a pickup truck. It was a classic car versus pickup truck. He kind of went under, buckled the hood, some other things like that. No damage on the truck, like, whatsoever, which is, like, frustrating. So, reported the accident, you know, all the stuff, the rigmarole with that. The insurance had us take the car in to have it evaluated at, like, an approved place, which is no problem. It's actually, like, right across from the post office that I use. Took it in. It took like an hour and a half. I drove Carley in. Carley does not run properly at this point. I can tell you that right now. The check engine light is on. Carley is a 2011. Okay, so it's not like a brand new car. We actually looked up on Kelley Blue Book, and it's like between like $4,000 and $6,000. Like it's like $4,200 and $6,800 or $5,800 is like the potential value of Carley, depending on like the condition. Obviously got a condition issue now, but and mileage and so on and so forth. So I took it in, and the guy asked me, he's like, have you had the hood open? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Like I don't know, it's my car, but like I don't drive it every day. I didn't get in the accident. He's like, well, I don't want to unlatch the hood, because if I unlatch the hood and open it, if I can't get it to relatch because the latch is damaged, he's like, you can't drive it home. And I'm like, that's a really good point. That is definitely a safety issue. He goes, yeah, because if you're going down the road and the hood flies up, he goes, we can't be liable for that. And I'm like, I don't want to be involved in that either. So he did not open the hood to look at it in the mechanical stuff. So he just evaluated the cosmetic stuff. And you know, when you get into an accident, like, things are off. The hood looks like it's still on, but if you look, it's like gapped wrong. So he was able to kind of look inside and some other stuff. And when he was done with just that evaluation, $3,923 and like 24 cents worth of damage on my $5,800 car. So we're pretty sure this is going to get totaled. Like, we don't have confirmation of that. He sent it over to USAA, and we're waiting like the 2 or 3 days or whatever, but I'm pretty much 100% sure we are going to be having a totaled Carley, which is just a darn shame. So either way, if they total it, we're just going to get a check, and if we don't total it, we are just going to pay our deductible and let everything magically get fixed. So that's a lot. Like, all of a sudden, have we gone down to a single car? I mean, at this point, we have 3 cars. We have Carley, which is, we are not driving at this point. There's Yellow, and then there's Grandma Truck. Grandma Truck is not a viable option to use every day because it like is 8 miles to the gallon. You know what I'm saying? It's just not cool. I mean, Streetsboro's pretty far away. Chris drives like 15 or 20 miles one way, so it's like not a good option to be paying like $6 each way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he is using Yellow full-time right now, which means I am at home. And I have to tell you, it's a bit of a change for me because I am used to like going out and getting things done, especially now that Evelyn is in school with only one child. It's much more manageable for me to run to the grocery store and to the bank and some other things like that. And all of a sudden I'm like, guess I gotta find something to do around here. I keep thinking, I'm just gonna run to the bank. I'm just gonna run to the bank. I'm not gonna run to the bank. So we are waiting. We're in a holding pattern. Now, of course, this always, you know, like people, I feel like this is like a crossroads in the Dave Ramsey-ness of life where people go, I gotta have a car. And like they would go and like buy a new car and get car payments. So Chris and I sat down and we totally talked about this, and we are not going to do that. If they total Carley out, the plan is to take that money and buy essentially another Carley. Same year-ish, like take the value of this car and buy like a $5,000 car. Because he looked and we can buy Carley for like $5,000. Which means it's the same year, same style, blah, blah, blah. So that is the plan, is to buy a $5,000 car. That's what we're going to do. And then we are going to save $2,000 or $3,000, and then next year sell that car, put our $3,000 with it, and buy like a $7,000 or an $8,000 car. So that is like what Dave always talks about doing. That is going to be our plan. And honestly, my plan is to be buying a car probably every year for the next 2 or 3 years to get up to like a $12,000 or $15,000 car. Like something newer, something that is up to date. And then honestly, we're probably going to be doing that with Yellow over the next 2 or 3 years as well. So maybe we're going to buy a new car, like a Carley replacement, and then a new car, yellow replacement, and then a Carley and a yellow replacement, you know, like back and forth. So, oh, I don't know. Does anybody know what the threshold is for like totaling out a car? Because I already know that we're more than half of the value. Really on the low end, we're only like $200 from absolutely maxing out the value of it. So I don't know, it's kind of strange. Like, this is just up jumped, here we go. So that's what we're dealing with financially at this point, which means we're going to totally spend our baby emergency fund on our deductible, which is $1,000, which is okay because that's the way we planned it. No big deal. So we're back to baby step 1. That sounds horrifying. It's not so terrible though, because I can tell you that like I didn't freak out when any of this happened. Chris said he thought I would freak out, which usually I would freak out, but we have our deductible, so I know we're gonna be okay. It's inconvenient as far as, you know, going down to one car, but it's a contingency that we have covered. So we are going to Lee. Oh, hey Lee. In Australia, we have gap insurance, which covers the difference between the value of the vehicle and the total loan. Well, we don't have a loan. Our car is paid for, so we don't need gap insurance. And generally, gap insurance is only done if you're getting a new car here. So, I do believe you have to actually have a new car in order to get gap insurance here. Like brand new. But that's no big deal. But like I said, our car was paid for, so it was 100% paid for, no payments. And we're going to continue on that no payment path because payments stink. Payments rob you of your wealth. And it just takes away your ability to choose what to do with your own money. And I want to choose what we do with our money. So we are going to be focusing on rebuilding our baby emergency fund, our $1,000. And then pretty much immediately after that, we have fleshed out $1,000 budget for Christmas, which was not what we originally had planned for the year. We had planned to have a $3,000 Christmas, but that's not going to happen. And that's okay, because I hadn't actually started saving for Christmas really. It was like this month would be like the time when I would have started, even though last year we funded Christmas very early in the year and it was a so I had to ignore that. But anyway, the $1 for Christmas will be plenty, and then once the $1,000 set to a car and take care of that. And then after that, like we had one of those like epic planning sessions. It wasn't like budget meeting in the sense like that we were on a budget, but we had like an epic, when I say me, Chris and I had an epic sit down and let's just like talk about how we feel about these things. What are we gonna do? What's the situation? What's the plan? And in this, he was like, I don't want to do this job. And I'm like, you know what? I hear you say that and I totally respect that. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Like, we were having like that Chris Hogan, like, let's dream conversation. And he's like, I want to make more money, have like 40-hour week. I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to have time off and do fun stuff. I want to have the money to go on a vacation. I want to have the money to like not be so worried about when we do things, because it's not that we can't do things, it's kind of like the order though is like, it's always like decide and then wait for it, decide and wait for it. And he's like, I want to have that decision and the waiting, I want to shrink that waiting period down. And I respect that, because I also want to like go, I want to do that too, and I want to be able to go like next week and do it. He also was like, I want to have more spending money, I want to have flexibility, and I want to be able to choose what I do, like, and I'm like, yes, I do too. So, and a lot like how Dave does this with Ken Coleman, I'm like, well, what does that look like? What do you want to do if you could just pick something? And we fleshed out a plan that Chris wants to become an actual, like a welder and go to welding school. So we even fleshed out a plan with that. We looked into some school options. We found a program that's like 22 weeks. It's $4,000. So baby emergency fund, Christmas, car, $4,000, so that he can go to school and get the classes he needs in order to become a welder and to change jobs, because he's just not happy at his job. So and to make more money. That's always what well, what would be your dream if you were making, you know, twice as much money? Exactly. Ash Cash Budget says welders can make great money. And yes, and that's part of the reason that he's choosing that, but part of it is just he likes to do that. He gets to do a little bit of welding where he is, and he's interested in doing that, and it's just not so dirty as the job that he's in. I got a Lillian. Come and sit up here and make an appearance, my friend. So that's what we're doing. Say hi. She's like, nope. Also this week we went to our second Girl Scout meeting. Got Evelyn her uniform, and on Instagram you'll see that, I think today or tomorrow I'm gonna post that. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm taking some leader training because, you know, I have an opinion about how things should be done. So also, if you do any of the National Girl Scout Leadership Training, there is a Water Smart event that they did in the Spring Mountain Range, and I want you to know, if you watch that video, Heather Murray was my coworker. Like, the other person in my department when they finally hired somebody was her, and I'm not actually in the video, but the activity that I led was in there. So Deanne says, welders can make great money. My husband works in industrial construction, and he doesn't necessarily, darn it, I missed all of it. Anyway, so that's pretty exciting. So I just feel like we've had a lot of, like, brain, and, like, we haven't done anything crazy, like, strenuous, but we've done a lot of choosing and a lot of planning. So I keep telling Chris that sometimes when bad things like this happen, it can work out really well, and I'm hoping this works out really well. And I feel like I just skipped from Girl Scouts to this, but anyway, the activity that I led at that event, which is really funny because that event, it was like 10 years ago. I'm like watching it, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, that's camp. I'm like, and I'm like, you know, you're like, that's camp. I know that. And then I was like, I know those people. That's my boss. Like, literally, that was my direct reported to boss. And then Heather, who was the only other person in my department. She was like my direct coworker. We like sat next to each other. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, that was totally a surprise. So I am starting to do back to Girl Scouting, which is very exciting and very soul enriching for me. I hope to do something fun and productive with that. I don't know. I might end up being a troop leader. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up because we're 18 minutes for a 15-minute session. Thank you to the folks that are watching. Give me a thumbs up because oh, that's so cute. Oh, anyway, I appreciate those thumbs up. They are helpful to me and my channel. Thank you for watching. Comment down below if you have any questions that I didn't cover. Thank you, Ashka. Were you a Girl Scout, Ashley? Were you? Yeah. Third generation here. So, and I am a lifetime member. And I want you to know that I'm so long a lifetime member that I'm like getting my free years out of it now. So yay! Ash Cash Budget, that's so cool. Alright guys, I will see you later. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, post any questions down below. Give me a thumbs up. I love to see those. Thank you, and I will see you later. Bye.